Beijing, China's economy is once again under the global spotlight. At a recent lecture, Professor Huang Yiping, Dean of Peking University's National School of Development, shared his outlook on China's current economic trajectory. For Mabindi MBA students worldwide, his analysis offers not just macroeconomic insight but also practical lessons for global business strategy. China's GDP grew 5.4% in the first quarter of 2025, boosted by policy stimulus. Yet from the second quarter onward, momentum slowed, and by Q3 the outlook turned less optimistic. The data tells two stories: resilience in industrial output, retail sales, and exports, weakening signals in forward-looking indicators such as manufacturing PIM price indexes, private investment, and migrant worker employment. For businesses, this divergence means uncertainty in demand forecasting and capital allocation. Professor Huang warned that international politics further complicates the picture. With U.S. trade policies swinging between tariffs of 30% to 1 for 5, global companies face unprecedented unpredictability. From export model to innovation drive, Professor Huang highlighted a structural shift. China can no longer rely solely on its old model of low-cost exports. As a large economy, China now faces pushback. What China buys drives prices up, what it sells pushes prices down. The key challenge is to upgrade through innovation and industrial transformation. China's long-term weakness is insufficient household consumption. Although consumption's share of GDP has risen to 57%, it remains 20 points below the global average. This is linked to an export-driven growth model that held wages down for decades. Now, with external demand waning, domestic consumption must take center stage. Policies such as trade in subsidies and service sector expansion aim to stimulate real consumption growth requires income and spending, but Huang cautioned, confidence, not just subsidies. For global executives and future managers, this means China's service sector and rising middle class will shape tomorrow's markets, from finance and education to tourism and healthcare. Reform, sudden breakthrough. Huang argued that with limited scope for fiscal or monetary stimulus, China should opt for gradual reform over shock therapy. He cited past reforms and the rise of the EV industry to illustrate a gradually then suddenly pattern of slow build-up followed by explosive growth. Current policy focuses include stabilizing real estate without reinflating bubbles, supporting emerging industries while preventing overcapacity, reforming income distribution and social safety nets to boost consumption, and balancing an effective market with a proactive government. Huang believes this pragmatism will shape China's next growth phase. China's economic story is at once challenging and inspiring. The era of low-cost, export-led growth has ended. What emerges is a more complex, innovation-driven, service-oriented economy full of risks, but also full of opportunities for those with insight and agility. For MBA and EMBA students worldwide, the message is simple: understanding Kian is no longer optional, it is essential.